Hey dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about some of the stuff that's been going on with V and what he's done for an old man. I think you'll like this story and find it interesting. The reaction from the armies is definitely going to be something that is the most touching. I literally can't believe what is going on. We also have Jungkook kind of confessing his love, how he feels. I love this so much. He talks about who he loves the most and who he truly has the most in common with. We'll get into that all here today. So if you're interested in the please make sure you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell so be notified anytime a new video drops. And if you're a hater, like to be the first to leave your hate comment, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell also so you can be the first to do so. Now, let's jump into it. Let's start here with V, or Taeyang Zeddy. I love the way that he is. And we even have an interesting story how he basically saved an old man's life, or this particular granddaddy. And no, not like granddaddy, granddaddy, like an actual old man. Armies know that when they have serious issues, or a lot of serious issues, they know that they can rely on other armies within the community to help. A lot of armies are like family, and that's so different from other fandoms, in a way that they're more willing to help each other out in different situations, simply just because that person is an army. Armies also have the power to get a message out there very, very quickly, and get it out there to a lot of people. I mean, for example, armies will literally just trend something out of the blue, just because one time armies saw that Jungkook was looking slightly sad and wanted to get a message out to him. What we ended up finding out later was that he didn't perform very well at a concert, or he thought he didn't, and he was very sad. But we didn't know that at the time. In fact, we had no idea why he was sad. Armies would trend that he is amazing, he did the best that he could, all of that stuff that us armies know that he would want to hear. I've seen a lot of celebrities with kind of really insane kind of fandoms, but none of them can compete to what armies do. A lot of fandoms only start trending things like when an album drops, or if a celebrity's in the hospital or something like that. But it's rarely over if a celebrity cries, or just out of the blue nowhere just have something trending. If the celebrity wasn't feeling too well that day, you don't usually have the fandom trending for that. But in BTS you do. But armies, they trend stuff like that just because they know BTS will hear it and they will feel better when they hear it. Armies will trend something even before Jungkook needs to ask, even before any of the BTS members need to ask. BTS doesn't even need to ask their fans to kind of trend a music video, or trend a hashtag, or stream a music video. Armies already know what to do. There are literally fan pages on Twitter and Instagram telling you how to stream properly. So armies have a lot of power in that. But we've been knew that, right? You can either be on the good end of that or the bad end of that, which will basically ruin your life. Like Twitter stans will find out your address and ruin your life. Yeah, that's happened. This person was obviously a great supporter and then reached out for the community for some help. She made a post on Korean social media Weverse, which is a site I talk about all the time. I am not sponsored by them, but talk about you all the time. So this was a very sad post about a grandfather dying. She spoke about her grandfather dying kind of in the hospital, and he was apparently in a very critical condition to the point where he needed kind of a blood transplant. Except the grandfather had a very specific kind of rare type of blood called RHA blood type. So I assume it's very difficult to find, and I assume that their family members didn't have this type of blood, and that sucks. That really does. The official kind of post and the official story reads this: "Everyone please help. My grandfather is in critical condition and he needs RHA type A blood. Please armies help. They even say that some have gone abroad because they couldn't find someone in Korea. Those who have this blood type, please leave a comment. I'll add you to a group chat. Please help us. Please help us find someone with this blood type. Armies are like a family. Please think of us as your own grandfather and please help. I'm truly sorry to post such manner in such a space. Please help us." So the story was obviously very touching and quickly went viral. Some reposted this on Twitter, and stuff like this always goes viral on Twitter. So of course people will start sharing it. It didn't seem like when people were kind of trending it or circulating around that anyone was able to jump in and help. I assumed that no one had the blood type. And it didn't reach anyone who had the ability to have the blood type and also donate it. I'm no doctor, but wouldn't blood type O work? Because doesn't blood type O work with everything? I would imagine blood type O is a little bit more common to get maybe in Korea, that they wouldn't have to go overseas. I mean, I like know 3 people with blood type O. So, but obviously, as I said, I'm no doctor, so I don't know how this works. This post of course went viral to the point where Taeyang even saw it himself. He got a hold of the message and was able to spread it a little bit. He basically posted on Weverse that if anyone is able to help this person, to help this person. Taeyang obviously must have felt so touched by the story that he felt like he could jump in and could help. He wrote, "Could you please help this person with type RHA blood?" And he wrote this in both Korean and English. This was of course to make sure that he was able to reach everybody, and people who couldn't understand what he was saying would be able to read this and understand what was going on. That is very touching. I can't tell you how grateful I am that he is able to do something like that. This isn't them just like reposting something or posting a picture or a music video to get clout or whatever it is, not like clout gang. Like he isn't trying to do this to get attention, and even if he was trying to do this to get attention, at the end of the day this person is getting helped, and that's what matters. Nothing else matters because Taeyang would have ended up saving a life. life. And that is the most important thing. Taeyang obviously knows his influence, and he knows that if he does go ahead and open his mouth, things are going to move. Or perhaps open his keyboard, maybe is the correct term for that. Taeyang knows that he is super influential. He is claimed as one of the most influential people. I mean, BTS in general. He's actually going to be able to reach the people that he needs to reach. I wanted to see what some people on Twitter were saying. After all, this is where all this started, like it was circulated on Twitter. That was what helped spread the message. One person wrote this: OP is looking for RHA type blood donors for their grandfather, and Taeyang asked for help in both Korean and English. We don't deserve him. He is too precious for this world. Taeyang really helped this message go super viral. And you can obviously tell how touched he was by this story, that he felt it was obviously urgent enough where he had to speak up. I just can't explain how good of a thing he did. He didn't have to do that. He really could have just ignored the message and went on with his day. But he chose not to do that, and that's what's really important. A lot of celebrities don't do stuff like this, and I think it's very important for them to use their platform in such a way. I think a lot of news stories didn't cover this for some reason. No one is talking about this, but people want to talk about Jungkook and Suga's scandal. I don't understand. I don't understand at all. We do have this storyline kind of written out by a Twitter user. It basically clarifies what the original poster was saying, and that they did eventually find a donor. This tweet wrote, "Thank you, Taeyang. You saved a life today." OP posted on Weverse pleading to help them find a blood for their grandfather of blood type RHA. Taeyang replied English and Korean, requesting others to help. OP posted they found a donor for the blood transplant and thanked Taeyang. I just feel like I have to personally say a deep, deep thank you for going out and helping people. And of course, for the non-toxic armies who spread this message. I often talk about some of the toxic armies quite a bit, and there's obviously so many good ones out there as well. So many not toxic ones that do things like this, but also ones that have left amazing comments here on my videos and have been so nice to me and nice enough to join the Dumpling family. You guys are what makes life worth living, and I hope to one day be able to bring a community together like this, where I can go out and help people and save people's lives. I am glad that they found a donor. That makes me very happy. I hope the grandfather is currently doing very well and great. We need a YouTube story time, okay, original poster? If they want to go ahead and make a video, I wouldn't mind doing a little editing for them and making it a really interesting story time. All else failed, and then Taeyang, our hero, stepped in and saved them. But also, of course, we need to know who the donor's name was, because that is the person who is going to be giving the blood. So thank you to the donor as well. Very classic story, very classic, amazing, heroic story. I love it. I love it, I love it. Taeyang the hero is loved by everyone, and someone else who is loved by everyone is Jungkook. He recently confessed his love to who he likes. Jungkook is just the cutest bunny to ever exist ever. I feel so blessed that we get to share this planet and world with them. Jungkook, of course, talked about all the members of BTS, who he loved the most. I'm sure he loves all of them a lot, but he definitely talked about the two that he felt most connected with. These two particular members in general. But let me read what Jungkook said. All of the individual members. This Twitter user pretty much summed it all up for us. They wrote, "For Jungkook, the members mean RM is my leader, Sugar is my elderly, Jin is my eldest brother like a friend, J-Hope is my bro, Jimin is my you are me and I am you. V is my commonality." Now, if you aren't aware, that line that Jungkook said about Jimin, you are me and I am you, is referring to the song in Serendipity, where Jimin and Jungkook always sing. This means that Jungkook is saying that the song basically references their relationship to each other. How they feel about each other is expressed in the song. It seems to me they have very strong bond for each other and love each other very, very much. The internet definitely had a lot to say about this. One person on Twitter wrote, "Am I the only one crying about seeing what Jungkook said to Jimin? And no, baby boo, no honey boo boo child. I totally cried too. I have wiped away all of my tears, and I have no tears left to cry." Little Miranda sings cover there. This is absolutely beautiful, and it really shows their love for each other. I wish to be able to describe someone like this one day and be able to show my love in song lyric, you know? It'll be great. A boy can imagine, right? It won't happen, but a boy can imagine, right? It won't come true, but I can put it in the universe and hope it can. Now, I am personally a Taekook shipper, as a lot of you know, so I was very excited to see what Jungkook wrote about Taeyang. But first, notice how a lot of the other members besides Jimin and Taeyang are kind of described as like, you are my brother. But Jimin and Taeyang are kind of described as like the more hard-hitting descriptions, a very more specific description. Jungkook described V as his commonality, meaning they have a lot in common, meaning they share the same interests. Almost like V is his other half, if you will. That's how I interpret it, okay? I think it's beautiful. I think it's wonderful to say this about someone you really care about. And if you do care about someone, you go and call them your commonality, okay? And before I get any hate for saying that I am shipping two people together and that I would love them to be together, would you rather me hate on them instead? Wish them apart? Would you rather I didn't say such lovely and loving things about them? No, no one would rather that. We prefer love here. We stand love here in this dumpling community, okay? If you ain't crying over this lovey stuff, you ain't got no soul. You're just a living body with no soul. Just organs and skin. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know what your thoughts are. Leave it in the comment section down below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm featuring this comment right here. Thank you so much for leaving your comments. And as always, I do have a Patreon if you want to go over to my Patreon and kind of check that out. Anything you can contribute over there really does help kind of get back to this channel, really contribute a little bit more so I can make better videos on here and all that jazz. So really do appreciate if you go check that out. You can also get exclusive content over there like music video reactions, performance reactions, ship reactions, all that stuff on my Patreon. I'll leave a link in the description down below so you can check that out. There's also 2 videos that will pop up at the end of the screen on this video, so make sure you click on one of those videos and I will see you over there. Bye.